Hey everyone, it's Billy here with Strictly Sales Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail, and today I want to go over the event that we had down in Raccoon Creek. It was part of our tour series, which is brought to you by Dakota Lithium, and it was sponsored by Raccoon Creek Outfitters. It was on June 27th to 28th. It was a two-day event. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. I'm going to go over all the details of the event in case you weren't there, in case you didn't come to the weigh-in, or in case you weren't able to make it down there for this two-day event. I want to go over all the details, so stay right here. Also, during this recap video, we're going to talk to 3, maybe 4 of the top winners in this event and just pick their brain a little bit and get some information from them. So I don't know if they're going to tell you exactly where they fished. They might tell you lake versus creek. They might tell you what they threw, how they were throwing it. I don't know. You got to listen. So it'll be cool. All right, everyone, you guys know that this was a two-day event, and we gave away $100 for the big bag day 1, $100 big bag day 2, $100 for the big fish on day 1, big fish on day 2, and overall big fish. So a lot of money to give away. Let me tell you who won it. Day 1, there were 4 anglers that came in with limit, and the number 1 big bag, $100, goes to Shawn Skidmore, Skids, with 96 3/4 inches. Seriously. No, good job, Skids. That's amazing. And big fish, almost said big bag again. Big fish also goes to Skids with 22 1/4. That is a really big fish. Let's throw a picture of it up here. Look at that fish. All right, hope in editing I actually put a, if not, you would have just seen my thumb do that. Hey guys, and then day 2, we had 8 anglers that got limit, and the number 1 angler coming in with $100 big bag day 2 was Ryan Parker, and Parker had 82.5 inches. That is a really impressive day 2. Great job, Parker. And day 2 big fish goes to Adrian Solis. Adrian will be taking home $100 for his big fish, 19 3/4 inches. That's a big bass. The overall big bass, of course, again goes to Skids, and Skids will be taking home $260 because in every tour series event, we have $5 for every entry fee goes towards the big bass, and $5 times 52 anglers is $260. Congratulations, Skids. Okay, so congratulations to Skids, Parker, Andrew Solis. You guys all killed it. Great job. You guys also know that we do a 50-50 raffle, and at the Raccoon Creek, the 50-50, $130 goes to Andy Colvin. So congratulations to Andy on your 50-50. And I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of pictures and a lot of fun that we had giving away prizes. Raccoon Creek really put up a lot of prizes to give away. And as I took photos of some people, like, thank you to everyone who smiled. I asked you to smile, and you guys did a great job. So thank you for smiling. All right, guys, so before I get into one of the big prizes that was given away, I think I just told you we were going to go over who the winners were, but then I forgot about all these prizes, and they gave away 2 kayaks. So I'm going to tell you who won the kayaks. This is a Rogue Fishing lanyard. I didn't win this one, but they did give away 2 of these in a raffle prize, and they also gave away some lanyards that you can connect to your paddle or your drive, if you have a drive, or anything in your kayak you don't want to lose, pliers, scissors, whatever. So you can tell this works. Look at this, look at this. I'm bouncing my phone around. So go online to Rogue Fishing and buy one of those. They gave away some Yak Attack, Yak Gadget, Venom Lures, gave away some gift certificates. There were lots of cool prizes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you guys a whole bunch of pictures right now of all the winners. So look at that. Look at that one. Look at that one. Those are some cool prizes. That's all part of the in-person events. That's what we do. We give away prizes. Can't tell you how many times I went to a Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail event and I turned in 0 inches and I still walked away with some really cool prizes. So congratulations to everyone who won a prize. The big prizes of the day were, they gave away a Bonafide RS 117 and a new canoe Flint. So the big winners of those, we had Reed Carpenter, who won the Bonafide, and then we had Chris Green, who won the new canoe. So congratulations to Reed and Chris. You know, I didn't dig in to find out how Reed or Chris did in the tournament, but I don't really think it matters because they won kayaks. So congratulations again to both of them. And thank you to Raccoon Creek Outfitters for giving away 2 canoes. That's an amazing prize. I still cannot believe they did that. They gave away 1 kayak. Did I say canoes? I don't know. They gave away 1 kayak 2019, 2020, they gave away 2. What are they going to do next year? My favorite event, hands down, of the entire trail. All right, everyone, now let's talk about who placed where, who finished. We had 52 anglers, so the top 5 anglers were paid out. Coming in number 5 was Brock Spencer. He came in at 121.5 inches, so congratulations to Brock. We had number 4, fourth place was Ryan Parker. Ryan Parker comes in at 126 inches, fishing on the river. Oops. You got to listen to the podcast to find out more about that. Ryan Parker, $250 for 4th place. Congratulations to Parker. Coming in 3rd place, Robert Weiker with 127.25 inches. Robert Weiker will be taking home $270. Congratulations to Robert. Number 2, coming in, we have Matt Davis, 133.25 inches. Matt Davis will be taking home $478. Congratulations to Matt Davis, fishing on the creek. Listen to the podcast. Okay, guys, and then 1st place, you guys probably already figured this out if you listened to me earlier, and I told you that Skidmore had big bag, big fish, big overall fish, all the things. With that 96.75 inch day 1, he was able to follow it up with a 66.5 day 2, come in with 162.25 inches, and Shawn Skidmore, Skids, will be taking home $894. So congratulations, that's huge. If you add up all this money, there was a lot of money won. It was a really good event. We had a lot of time hanging out, social distancing, of course, but hanging out by the fire. Everyone had their own campsite set up. It was really cool to go around and talk to everyone and put some faces with some names. What I want to do now is, I told you guys there's going to be the podcast after this. We try to do a video podcast, so we use Skype and Zoom, try to offer you guys something a little bit different. So stay tuned and you can hear. I didn't want to make it like a 40-minute conversation with each one of the anglers, because what do you guys really want to know? You want to know what were they throwing, maybe get to know some of these anglers a little bit better. So that's what we try to do. I'm going to try to keep it to 10 minutes or less. I make that commitment to you. If you make a commitment to listen to it and like and subscribe this YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys these recap videos. That's the Strictly Sailed Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail recap video. Reminder, this tour series is presented by Dakota Lithium, and this event was sponsored by Raccoon Creek Outfitters. So thank you to them, and thank you for all the other sponsors that we mentioned earlier in the video. Thank you, everyone. If you want to find out the overall standings, we have our top standings that are presented by Keel Armor. Go on the website, BuckeyeKayakFishingTrail.com, and you can find the top standings. And then also, you guys got to check out some upcoming events. This coming weekend, we have Clear Fork coming up, and that's one of the Bassmaster events. And then also, we have at the end of the month, at the end of July, we have the East-West Harbor coming up, and you're going to be finding out a lot more about that coming up. But those are some of the exciting things we have coming. July is going to be an amazing month. So thanks again for everyone that came down to Raccoon Creek. And stay tuned to hear all of the podcast information. And better see you guys at Clear Fork or Lake Erie. All right. See you guys later. Thanks. All right, guys. Then we have Bo Smith interviewing Matt Davis. Matt Davis, man, he had one of my favorite quotes on this podcast. I might get a t-shirt made or something. Matt Davis said, "If the water's wet, I'm throwing a spinnerbait." That just sounds like it needs to be a quote. It is a quote because Matt said it. All right, listen to Bo and Matt talk about fishing.
Hey everybody, Bo Smith, Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail Podcast, and today we are sitting down with Matt Davis, New Canoe Regional Fishing Team member and Raccoon Creek Outfitters Pro Staff. How's it going, Matt?
It's going fantastic. I hope you had a good week.
Oh man, the week was amazing. Kind of short week. We got the holiday coming up, and then we had to share all the stories from the 2-day Raccoon Creek tournament that we just had. It was a pretty good turnout. We had quite a few anglers. They gave away a couple boats. It was pretty cool. We had a good time.
Yeah, one thing you can always count on when you come to Raccoon Creek is that you're going to get treated well and you're going to eat very well.
Oh, the eating. I mean, you made some killer fajitas, and Mark made some awesome food down there. It was great. I mean, he even wanted to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and fix everybody breakfast. That guy's really cool.
Well, when you're a chef, you naturally look out for other people, and that's what he does.
Absolutely. And when you're an awesome angler, you finish in the second place at the tournament, and you really put it together. And
well, I would never use the word awesome to describe my angling, just because I've spent my whole life, ever since I was a kid, kind of stumbling along and discovering this or that and finding things that worked for me. And because, to be honest, I could put the bait that I used in somebody else's hands and they might not catch the same fish that I catch, because I have that much confidence in what I throw and what I fish. I wouldn't call my angling awesome. I would just say that it's what works for me.
Well, it's definitely working, and I will call it awesome because I mean, I would love to finish second place or first place like last year. Or you came in, you talk the talk, and you share a lot more information than most other tournament anglers, which was very surprising to me. It's really cool to watch you talk to other people and share information about this sport, because you legitimately want other anglers to do well, and I really respect that.
Well, I feel like the more competition that's out there, the more fun this can really be. I fished all day Saturday and Sunday with Dustin, and it was nice to be able to see him have 2 really good days. And he had a couple amazing days in the water. We both caught limits, and not many anglers did that. As a matter of fact, I think, to be honest, we were the only 2 that actually caught limits both days.
Absolutely. I thought that it was going to be challenging for anglers to put 10 fish on the board. I didn't have an issue catching fish. I probably caught close to 100 fish both days total. None of them scoreable, but I caught fish.
Right. And that is the trick when you're fishing moving water, because I'm aware of where you fished, and you're aware of where I fished, which is different, because up until now, really nobody knew where I was fishing. But just because of the circumstances surrounding you asking me questions about where would be good on the creek, I kind of had to reveal to you where I was fishing so that you wouldn't be fishing it.
Right. No, absolutely. But let's talk about Saturday. You caught limits Saturday. What was your total score on Saturday?
My total score was 68 inches even. For just about any tournament, 68 is going to put you right near the top.
Absolutely.
Unless you're fishing a place like maybe East Harbor or West Harbor, where it's known for just, 17, 18-inch largemouth all over the place. I felt really good about that 68-inch limit, because that's literally just shy of 14 inches of fish. And I felt really good about that. Getting back to the livery and looking at the leaderboard when I finally had service, and I see this 96 3/4 inches from Shawn Skidmore, I was like, am I in a twilight zone? What did I miss? Because that's unheard of. That is unheard of here in the state of Ohio. And I, tip my hat to him for finding the fish and putting them on the board.
Skid's been real busy lately and hasn't been able to get out on the water as much as he usually does. And I think he just was missing it and came in swinging.
Oh, I think he was making up for lost time. I really
do. Absolutely.
But really, and I'm gonna reveal some things. When you're fishing moving water, a lot of those fish are just waiting for an opportunity to hit something as it goes by, because they have to take advantage of every feeding opportunity that comes their way. They're not like a lake fish where they can hold on offshore structure and then move up, feed for a little bit, and then go back and chill out and let that food digest. Now, they pretty well got to have food all the time in order to, continue to stay alive and grow. So, I did what I did last year. I was fishing a bluegill colored spinnerbait. Matter of fact, out of 10 fish, 9 of them came on that very same spinnerbait.
It was a lot of fun watching you guys just put it together and come away with a check and a trophy. We can see your trophies in the background. Both those, first, second place, coming from the Raccoon Creek Outfitters tournament. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm most proud of last year's because I was the unknown, the underdog that nobody knew about, and nobody expected any decent fish to come out of the creek, and I came out with 47 3/4, which that was, if I would have had 5 fish like that both days, I'd have been over the moon about that.
And the interesting thing about that is you showed up and you said, I'm doing this and I'm gonna win and this is what's happening, and you showed up at the end of the tournament and did exactly what you said you were going to do.
I never said I was going to win. I said that I felt like I had a good opportunity to win.
Okay.
I felt like I was putting myself in the best position for me to come out on top. There were other people who were telling me I was going to win, and I kind of laughed them off because I'm like, I'd love to, but Mother Nature has other plans sometimes.
This year, did you fish a similar section, the same section or same area? Did you fish it the same as you did last year?
Yeah, pretty well. The only difference was because there were 2 of us in the same section, we kind of leapfrogged our way down the creek. So I might find a section of cover that I liked, and I would fish it. Dustin would curl around me, and he would fish his section, and I'd curl around him. We just literally did that all the way down the creek. I probably focused more this year on what I considered high percentage areas because I knew what pools had bigger fish in them. I tried to concentrate more on those, and I didn't get any real big fish. My biggest was 17 1/4, but out of a creek, I mean, to me, that's a really respectable fish.
Yes, definitely. You get up 17, 18s in a small creek, that's doing some work.
And I hooked and lost one, not during the tournament last year, but after the tournament, I hooked one that was in the 22-inch range.
Ooh. We've been there. I think we all have. Want to cry. Yeah. You were on the creek. You floated the same section of creek both days?
I was on the same section, but I didn't fish the lower half because we were pressed for time and we had to paddle our way through it so that we could get our fish uploaded on Saturday. So what we did is we put in where we took out on Saturday, and we paddled up and fished our way up and fished our way back.
Okay.
And we fished the lower section the second day, and it paid off almost as well.
That's really cool.
As a matter of fact, I was very pleased. I was very relieved that I got my limit at 11:15 rather than 12:35 like I did on Saturday, because that wait until 12:35 to get a limit and then have to be back at delivery by 2, that was it was tough.
That's crunching time. You got to paddle back, you got to unload, load everything, carry everything out, and then drive back to the shop to get. There's not a lot of service. I think for us to get service, we had to take out and drive halfway back to Raccoon Creek Outfitters to get enough signal to upload. And then what we did, we were pushing it. We were pretty late, so we left our kayaks, drove to get signal, got signal, came back, then loaded everything up.
Yeah, yep. And that's actually what we did Saturday. We left our kayaks tied, drove back to the delivery, got our stuff loaded, and then we went back and got our boats. So
awesome, man. Hey, man, it's been really cool talking to you. Thanks for sharing the information that you share. I swear you like to share more information than any other anglers that I talk to. You have no problem saying what you're throwing, how you're throwing it, where you're fishing, and I love it.
Oh, well, no, I'm not going to just announce to the world where I was, but I have no problem telling people that I fish a spinnerbait because you know what my philosophy is. My philosophy is if the water's wet, I throw a spinnerbait.
The last time I fished with you, you were using a Colorado blade, and I think this weekend you were throwing it with a willow.
Well, I had willow blades available depending on the water clarity, but I ended up using the Colorado blade this weekend because I felt like it got more of a reaction strike because of the vibration.
Right. Well, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? You want to talk about New Canoe, Raccoon Creek?
Well, anybody out there that's looking for a great place to take their family and hit some water with kayaks or canoes, Raccoon Creek Outfitters is a place to go. Located just outside of Albany. Their number is 740-698-0000. As far as New Canoe, I really couldn't do the things I'm doing without them being behind me. They don't sponsor me, so to speak. They don't, I'm not giving any money, but I'm a member of their team, and that gives me certain discounts on different products. And I could not do what I do without that. And lastly, I can't not mention Dustin Hoy, Reed Carpenter, Michael Jennings, John Sheff, for all of their support, and people like Robert Weiker, who just happened to finish one place behind me in this tournament. And he told me at the beginning of the tournament, man, he said, I just want to finish one place behind you. Mm-hmm. It's the only time I've ever heard him say he didn't want to win. And if y'all know Robert, that man puts some hammers in the boat every single time he fishes. So
yeah, this weekend was the first time I met him, and he's a pretty cool guy. I enjoyed talking to him, and
he's very knowledgeable, and he's going to try and teach me how to use my new fish finder.
Well, hey man, it was great talking to you. Thank you for coming on to the show and sharing your information with us. Can't wait to see you again, fish with you again, and hopefully you finish in the top and we'll get you back on here.
Well, let's hope so. I'm definitely looking forward to the Columbus Rivers event.
All right, brother. We'll see you there.
All right. See you, Bo.
Hey, guys, and then I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to Robert Weiker. So here's a few minutes of that conversation. Hope you guys enjoy it. He's a good dude. He has a company where he does custom baits. Maybe you hear a little bit about that, and he'll tell you where he fished, what he was thrown, and all that. So hope you guys enjoy. All right. Hey, so it's Billy Chambers here, and I'm here today with the third place angler from the Raccoon Creek event, Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail. Third place, Robert Weiker. How's it going, Robert?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'll tell you what, I didn't get – I've met you before, but I think it was just we said hi. You were in your truck down there. You fished at East West Harbor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Matt Davis. And we had said hi, but in Creek, I really got a chance to kind of, hang out social distance, I think. But kind of chat with you, at the campsite and everything. And you're a cool dude, man. It was a lot of fun. Did you have a lot?
Yeah, it was cool putting a lot of faces with all the names I've been seeing over the years. Because that was one of my – I think that was like my third live event the past 3 years. So
I pulled up – we'll get into the event and all that here in a second, but I did pull up – I love it when people actually pay the fee on Tourney X.
Oh, yeah.
All their stats. And so I went in and I noticed that you have 69 tournaments, 221 fish verified. Do you know, or can you guess? Maybe you already looked. Do you know what your average length is?
Well, it's 17 something.
It is.
It was 19 something before the buttload of bass tournament.
Well, okay, all right, that's fair enough. But
I follow it pretty quick. I like to keep it up there. It's fun to try to keep it pretty high.
Okay, in this event, Robert, everyone has a goal going into events. I don't know if you had any specific goals or what your game plan was, but someone told me that your goal was just to finish right behind Matt Davis.
It was. I actually told Matt Davis before the tournament started that I have no intentions at all to fish this tournament for the competitive side of it. I just wanted to get out and get a live tournament, start meeting some people. And I said, and no matter what, I'm going to finish one spot behind you. If you win it, I'm fishing second. And he laughed at me. And then whenever I was coming back, I kept watching the scoreboard and kept refreshing it. And I was like, there's no way that Matt Davis is not going to finish second and third.
Well,
so it turned out pretty cool.
So, and Matt may have put me up to that, asking that.
I could see that.
Spot. So, and then you came in at 127 and a quarter. So you were right behind him. Some of those fish on day one, tell me about how many fish you caught and the size of the fish for day one.
I literally only caught 3 keepers. I caught a 20, caught one in the 18s, one in the 17s, and about 45 short fish. I mean, it was a dink fest the whole time.
And if you had caught 2 more decent fish on day one, you would have won the tournament.
Well, it was funny. I started fishing for big fish. That's all I wanted to do was just have fun, throw big baits. You seen what I had tied on the day before. And I decided, screw it, I'm going to fish for little ones. I'm going to try to catch a limit. My second cast was on a Senko, a weightless Senko, which everybody knows I hate with a passion. And it was a 20-incher. So I spent 2 hours fishing for big fish, go fish for little ones, and catch a giant.
Knowing where you were on day one, you finished day one in 5th place. So what was your thought going into day two?
Catch a limit. I figured if I could just catch 5 fish, it'd put me in the money and put me in the top 10 for sure. I went to a lake I've never even seen in my life. I had a plan to go to Logan and realized how far away it was and decided to go to Hope Lake. Never seen it before. First time I ever seen it was in the dark. And then 20 minutes in, I had 2 keepers. 40 minutes in, I had 4 keepers. Hour and a half in, I had a limit. So I was like, it's a good choice.
Yeah, good choice. Hour and a half. Did you leave? Did you stay all day and keep fishing?
I stayed there the whole day. I grounded out all day, and I called one time on some offshore structure that I found on my electronics. When the bank beating got rough, I went out in the middle of the lake and found some stuff and caught one on it and cold up about 3.5 inches.
Okay. How often do you do like offshore fishing?
It's my number one favorite thing to do.
Okay.
I love video game fishing more than anything. It got me an 18.5 and a 15 or a 15 and 3/4 this weekend. When it gets really tough on the bank on those small lakes, I love to pull offshore and fish the stuff that nobody else fishes because they're always just beating the banks to death. And there's not much to choose from as far as offshore goes in those lakes. But if you can find something, it can be pretty special on a pressure lake.
So you can actually, the video game fishing is kind of interesting. Like you can actually see your lure going down.
I dropped down on that 18.5 incher I caught on day one. I dropped down on him probably 7 or 8 times, could never get my bait to go through the side of this pine tree just right. And when it did, he bit it. So.
Now, I've never fished Lake Hope. What was the water clarity like?
It was pretty murky. It wasn't crystal clear. It's probably maybe a foot and a half visibility. And then one of the competitors pulled up on me and said that he was missing fish on a chatterbait. And I was like, I haven't thrown one all day. Might as well. Made 2 casts and caught my 5th fish. I was like, thanks for the info. And he's like, dude, you're in the running for this thing? He said, I'm out of here. He left the lake completely. He said, I don't have a chance to win. He said, you're here. He said, I'm not going to beat the banks where you're going to be fishing. I'm gone. So he literally just loaded up and left. And one more guy off the lake that wasn't fishing the same stuff I was. It was pretty cool of him.
How many anglers did you see?
4, I think. And then at the end of the day, there was just 2 of us.
Okay.
There wasn't many. That morning, it was me, Chris English, the guy that I traveled with, and I can't remember the guy's name now.
Yeah, that's Chris seems like a real cool guy too.
He is. That was his first tournament. He was really excited to go, and he had fun. He caught 2 keepers in 2 days, but he really did catch a lot of fish. And I told him, that's just catching a lot of fish in those lakes is pretty impressive. It's tough.
I know a lot of guys had issues with cell signal and uploading fish into Attorney X.
Yeah.
Do you have a good signal out there?
No. Lake Hope, I had 0. That's why I rushed back as quick as I could to get back to camp and hang out. I got back to camp about 1:30, I think. So on Dow Lake, that's where I fished the first day. I had great service. So I got to stay there all day.
And then so how much money did you end up winning?
$270.
Yeah, that's a good amount. You got any plans for that? You buy some more fishing gear?
Save it for the next one.
Yeah.
That's good. That'll cover the travel and the hotel at the next tournament. I'm gonna try to fish them all this year. Yeah, me and the wife sat down the day after I got back and we put a summer plan together, and I think I'm gonna be able to make every one of them. So,
not to get off topic with the Raccoon Creek, because you did amazing. You got your 3rd place out there, but I kind of like some of the stories from East West Harbor, some of those big fish that you caught.
Man, that lake was great.
Yeah. So tell me what happened out there.
I fished there before, and there was one spot that I'd found 2 years ago, and I jumped in the kayak. I pedaled out there real fast on the day before, made 2 casts, caught an 18-incher in practice. I was like, that's it. I'm staying here all day. So I went out tournament day, and I literally stayed in the same little square mile, and I pedaled in those giant waves for 7 hours throwing the same bait the entire time, and I was just scanning and scanning and scanning. And every time I'd see the right thing on my graph, I knew I'd catch a fish there, and I'd catch one almost every time.
Nice.
So it was just kind of going over certain things, and when I found them, I'll put it this way: it'll still be there at the next East West Harbor event. So we'll be looking for it.
Yeah. Good luck. I mean, that's coming up, so good luck.
I'm looking forward to that one.
No matter if you're on the creek or the lake, sometimes there's shenanigans or just crazy things happen. Do you have any crazy stories from your 2 days?
I really just had a super laid back time. I mean, I didn't run into a lot of people. It wasn't nothing real crazy exciting. It was just going to town. I mean, that when I caught that 20-incher, I flipped in a weightless Cinco in 7 foot of water, like I said, making a joke. I sat back, I said, took me a drink, ate dinner, took a nap, woke up. It was finally at the bottom of the stinking lake. That giant was just swimming off with it. And I looked over at my buddy. I said, dude, that's a big old catfish. And I fought him for a while because I caught him on 7-pound line. And I fought him for a while, and then finally he came up, and I was like, dear Lord, that's a big old bass. And I thought for sure it was a catfish the whole time.
So do you catch them on a spinning reel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your what kind of line? And then you said a 7-pound leader.
Yep, I use 20-pound Power Pro braid for my main line, and then 7-pound sniper, Sunline Sniper for a leader.
So when you set the hook, did you have to set it and then start dialing down?
No, I just usually just lift on them and get enough hook. I use a really thin wire hook, and that's not my game. I don't throw Cincos ever. I'll throw a drop shot, like with the best of them if I can go up north. But I was throwing a weightless Cinco. I could think of many more things I'd rather be doing. But I threw it all day. I mean, I threw it the rest of the day. And then I caught the 18.5 offshore on a big TRD, which I've owned 1 pack of them that I bought before the tournament.
When you fish offshore, what do you have your fish finder like? What's your favorite settings to kind of look? Are you looking at just depth? Are you doing down scan or side?
I run it on. That's kind of funny because this is the first tournament I just bought a new Garmin 93 SV, and I used to run dual units where I had mapping on one and then down scan and side scan on the other. And that was my first time ever even using that unit. Was the first day at Dow Lake, and so I messed around for an hour just messing around with the features on it. But the picture clarity on that unit is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I set it on down scan and side scan, what do they call it, the real view or something, a clear view, and the side scan, and I just go to work, start scanning, start looking at everything.
So is that clear view, that's the live image?
Yeah, I didn't get live scope yet, but that's the reason why I bought the unit, so that I can upgrade to that later. If I would have spent, look and make sure my wife's not looking. If I would have spent that money on the unit and the live scope transducer, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. So we'll say live scope. Live scope will be maybe we'll get lucky and win a tournament or something, and be able to have a little free money to buy it. We'll see.
I was talking to Bo Smith, and he said that the two of you had a conversation about you actually painting some of your own lures.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing full time I've done it for 6 years now. I did it full time for 3 years, and Line Out Custom Tackle is my business. And I just took a job working for a pool company for the summer, helping them out because they can't find any help. And we've done crankbaits for a long time, and we just kind of put the crankbait business aside, and we're just doing swim baits now because it's just the financial side of it and the money side of swim baits is just, it's not really comparable to the crankbait side. So we kind of took things in a different direction, which freed up a little bit more time for me, more family time, because me and my wife both working full-time jobs now. The kids are running around by themselves, so every weekend we try to do a kid day weekend, and then Dad goes fishing on a day. But
yeah,
it opened up some free time, that's for sure.
So you paint, you airbrush them,
Yep.
So
yep.
I mean, I guess I always hear Mike Iaconelli talk about match the hatch. So you spend a lot of time. Do you catch fish, or do you just go out like the bait fish? How do you know exactly what you're supposed to?
If I catch a really pretty bluegill, stuff like that, I'll take really, really close, good, high quality pictures. But I mean, a lot of it is just wild stuff. We paint a lot of crazy patterns. I used to hydro dip them carbon fiber, and it made a really cool looking scale pattern. And I've sold, I don't know, thousands of those. But some of it's catching fish, some of it's catching fishermen. It's kind of a fine line in the business, but a lot of real stuff, a lot of bluegills. Our bluegill patterns are pretty good, in my opinion. We paint a bunch of them, but we also do goldfish, and I mean, pretty much anything people ask. They ship us a lot of baits. We have packages waiting every day when I get home.
Oh, wow. And what's the name of the business again?
Line Out Custom Tackle.
All right, we'll have to put that on the
Right there on the shirt.
Line Out Custom Tackle. I know you. Oh, you're wearing the shirt. What am I talking about? Look at that. And then you mentioned your kids. How many kids you have?
4. We got my stepdaughter and stepson, and my son full time. And then my daughter, we get her every other week. So.
Okay, yeah, I think I knew that as well.
Yeah, they keep me busy. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I hope to do this again. Talk to you again on a podcast. Hopefully because you had a good finish.
We'll see how this next one goes. I've never seen the lake, and I'm not going to get any practice. I'm going to go up on Friday, just jump in the lake and go Saturday. But I'll be honest, most of the time I do better when I go somewhere I've never seen. I mean, just go fishing. Put away anything you think you know and just go to work.
Yeah, just don't overthink it and go.
Yeah, I overthought that lake big time, and then that Lake Hope, like I said, never seen it, and had a limit in an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, it was just went fishing, just went and had fun.
Yeah, well, you killed it, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I guess we'll end this here. I was supposed to keep these to about 10 minutes, but I could probably talk to you for about an hour about whatever. So, yeah. All right, man. Well, congratulations again, and I hope to see you at the next event. Sounds like I will see you. And
yep, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah. So good job, man. All right, guys. Bo also talked to Ryan Parker. You guys already know what a big day Ryan Parker had on day 2. Here's Bo and Parker talking about fishing.
What's up, everybody? Bo Smith here with Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail Podcast. And today we're sitting down with Fireball Outdoor Products Pro Staffer Ryan Parker. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I get to sit down with you, pick your brain a little bit. And, I mean, the only thing better than that is going out fishing.
Yeah. I wish I could have done more of that today.
Yeah.
I did get to see Knox Lake all drawn down today, though. That was wild. It's like the moon out there.
Yeah, I seen some pictures of that with all the stumps sticking up out of the ground. It's pretty cool to see where the structure is on the bottom of a lake like that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to kill the fishing out there for at least a couple years.
Yeah, you always think it's going to make it easier because they're all just concentrated into a smaller area, but it never seems to be the case.
Right. So how did you do at the Raccoon Creek Outfitters 2-day tournament this past weekend?
I ended up doing all right. It didn't give up all hope after day 1, but day 1 was rough for me. Day 2 ended up being just a great day of smallmouth fishing. Day 1 was tough. I didn't have a limit. Day 2, I ended up having the biggest bag of day 2.
Yes, you had big bag day 2. Definitely a good way to come back after a rough first day. It ended up putting you in what, 4th place?
4th place.
What'd you end with?
I think it was 126 on the nose. Yeah, I think overall length was 126 inches on the nose.
Did you catch limit both days or just day 2?
Just day 2. Day 1, I had 3 on the board, like halfway decent fish. I mean, two of them decent enough. One was 12 and a quarter, but I had another keeper throw a hook and another one just flat miss a bait right next to the boat. I mean, I've never seen a smallmouth miss a bait so badly in my life. Twice it hit it, and it just flat missed that dang thing. And I couldn't get it to go again. And then just a ton of short fish. Day 2 was Dick Nauta and I floated the Hocking River together. And day 2, we had planned, day 1, we floated a section of the Hocking. Day 2, we planned a whole separate float, like a whole different section of the river to float. And then when we got to the put-in, we realized very quickly that it was like, man, we need either a winch or a lot of rope to get boats and gear down into this river here. It was like a 12-foot drop into the river. So we messed around and we just kept driving to other places we thought we might be able to put in for that float. Couldn't find anything. And ended up going back and just making the call, like, you know what, we kind of started figuring out something on this stretch of river we'd never fished before yesterday. The water's cleared up. We didn't get rain overnight. Let's go back and just fish that. We know that there's fish in there, and we know where we've kind of determined kind of dead stretches of water were, like where dead water was, and what sections would produce. So we went back and we fished the exact same float we did on Saturday, and just had more time to spend where we had found better fish the day before. And unfortunately, it didn't pay off for Dick. It did pay off for me. Not that I was out there just hammering smallmouth all day. I think I only ended up catching 8 keepers all day. They just happened, 5 of them just happened to be the right ones.
You didn't really do anything different day 2 besides just going to the spots you knew produced fish?
I changed colors of lures. The water looked like it had dropped maybe 6-8 inches overnight, and it cleared up quite a bit. So Saturday I was getting them on black and blue or June bug, purples, stuff like that, like darker colors. And then Sunday it was about as natural as I could get.
Very nice. I've never been to the Hocking River. Was it pretty cool float? I mean, scenery wise, and
see, that's the first time. I think that's the first time I've ever fished the Hocking River that wasn't the area that's just riddled with canoe liveries up around Hocking Hills and stuff. Like, yeah, it was an absolutely wonderful float. It's awesome. It's scenic. As far as a fisherman goes, like you look at that stuff, you look at the structure that's in the water, and there's stretches the bank, there's just rocks everywhere, and then you hit like a bend that just has so much, more wood than any other river, and it's just piled up, and you sit there, you'll sit on a log jam for like an hour, and then you feel like it feels like 15 minutes, and then you like look at your watch or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I gotta go. Like, I've been here way too long, just because there's so much to fish in one little area. When you find it, you find it.
absolutely. The creek was very similar to that. There were log jams everywhere, and there was structure everywhere. Every little bit of water you would look at, there was structure. You could float 10 feet, and it would take you 2 hours to fish all the structure that was in that area.
Yeah, I sat there and fished like rocky bends on Sunday, and I'd sit on one for like an hour and a half. I'd look at my watch and I'd be like, man, I got to move on. Like, I'm still 4 miles from the takeout, and there's still a lot more to fish. Like,
Yeah.
If I haven't caught them yet here, I'm not going to. I need to move on.
And it's definitely a kick in the teeth when you're paddling your butt off to get to the takeout, and you're passing all this amazing areas to fish, and you're like, why?
That's
not fish this?
time management kind of got the best of us on Sunday. We had, I think, about the last hour and a half of fishing time, we ended up just paddling because we still had that much more river to go, and we're like, man, you're just passing laydowns, like, there's one in there, but if I stop, then my other fish don't count, and right now I want all those fish to count. So it's just time management, man. It's
And it's a lot harder when you're floating an area that you've never been to before, and you don't know what to expect, or how difficult, how many log jams you're going to have to get out and drag your boat over. Or
I think fortunately the Hocking, it's wide enough that they don't get most of the log jams don't get so bad that you have to like try and navigate your way over them. You can get around them pretty easily. But still, it's like unfamiliar water and not knowing, like, and especially with spotty service too. Like, you can't just like pull up your map and be like, okay, I'm like 2 bends around from the takeout. Like, I'm getting pretty close. That you might have like 15 minutes to stop and fish this one or whatever. It can get the best of you real quick.
Okay, time out. Hey, no. We're doing an interview right now. I told you couldn't jump on the trampoline, and you have to be quiet. Okay? You're no running, no playing, no talking. I've got to do this. We're almost done. So just be patient and hold on. This is future. After we're done with the interview, you can say hi. But just wait. Okay. We'll go back. Billy will edit this out, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. He's good for it.
So how was your cell service?
My cell service was pretty decent most of the float. We were relatively close to civilization down there. So I had a little bit of spotty service. I think kind of the last like maybe mile and a half of the float. But during the day, early on, full bars, LTE. I had no issues, submitting fish, except for the last like more or less kind of hour and a half ish of the float, about like last mile and a half of the deal. But I think that I just chalk that up to being close to people.
Well, it sounds like you put it together, you had a good time, and you walked away with a check and a trophy. And
the check and the trophy are cool, but the great time is the best part about it. I last year, I think I put one fish on the board. I don't know if I had more fun at any other events. Like Raccoon Creek event it's become my favorite one on the trail. I mean, that one in Cincinnati, I know we didn't get to have like the whole Cincinnati Lakes experience this year with everything going on, but I'm stoked that everybody was able to get down to Raccoon Creek and camp and hang out, and safely. And just enjoy ourselves and fish for a couple days, because that, like, Dustin and everybody at Raccoon Creek puts on one heck of an event. The catered food, everything that it's. I look forward to it. Like I'm looking forward to it next year already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As soon as it's done, I'm like, I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah.
They give away the best prizes. They have awesome raffles. They donate so much and help out the community as much as they can, and it's a lot of fun to take part in an event that they put on, and everything that they do to help other people out. It's really cool. You froze up again.
It's your fault. You live in the boonies. That's.
I don't know. I'm recording you frozen like.
Was I actually frozen, or maybe I just did that? I mean,
I don't know. I sat here for a minute and.
Dude, the Raccoon Creek event is awesome, and yeah, those guys have done a ton for charity. Does he do that? Did Dustin and those guys do that charity tournament on Raccoon Creek every year, where like you get like a Barbie pole and a rental kayak, and like you get to pick like 2 packs of plastics and then you just go? That like I heard about that last year.
Done something like that. They do several different things. They still have some of their posters and advertisements put up, up on the walls at their shop of events that they've done and stuff that they've raffled off, and for charity and Boy Scouts, and it's really cool that they do that.
Absolutely.
My other event, you said Cincinnati. Mine's Rumble on the River, Columbus Rumble on the River. I mean,
that's my home. I swear one of these years I'm gonna win the dang thing. I fish the Columbus rivers like crazy. I love that event too. We get into river season. I'm a big fan of that. I feel more at home on a river fishing for smallmouth, like just stripped down boat. I don't even have a crate with me most of the time I'm on a river. I got two rods, a couple packs of plastics, and a little bit of terminal tackle. That's simplify everything, and just I feel at home on the rivers, even though you might, if you see me on big flat water now, like I'm out in the Hobie, and it's I might have 12 rods on my deck or something like that, but I still remember how to paddle, and I still remember how to fish with 2 rods. I still remember how to paddle, and I still remember how to fish with 2 rods.
I mean, you just started in a Hobie this year.
Yeah, I know. I do love that boat. It's the best way I can put it is it's an awesome tool for tournament fishing for me. The other awesome tool that I have is that Jackson Kilroy for the rivers. That's a hell of a river boat, and to get in and out of weird places, to have a boat that I can take every bit of river gear I need with me and throw it on my shoulder and carry it down to a place, but I still have a comfortable seat. I can still stand in that boat.
And you got an open cockpit, so you still have room for your hog trough.
And I don't know about the sit-on tops. I've never looked. I know that Jackson Kilroy, it's a sit inside, and it is still Class 3 rapid rated.
Right.
So it was like the thing was built for the rivers, in my opinion. And I think they've actually quit making the model that I had. Like mine's a 2016, and I think they've gone completely to the HDs now, which weight-wise, you're 80 plus pounds just with the hull of the boat. So if you can find an old one, I highly recommend it.
Right. I'm sure we'll have to look into that. I like my Bonafide. It was very easy to paddle on the river, on the creek that we were in. I didn't have any issue getting in and out of tight turns or anything like that. But the log jams and trying to drag it over those logs, after about the 10th one, it started to wear on me.
I've fished a Bonafide for a year and a half. I've got nothing bad to say about that boat, but being removed from it for a while now and helping Dick get his 127 up out of the Hawking, man, that's a heavy boat.
Yes, absolutely.
I kind of forgot about the weight because I haven't had to lift that weight for a while. Yeah, it was. I got reminded pretty quick, but outside of that, man, like you'll never hear me say anything bad about the Bonafides. I love that boat and the time I spent in it. But honestly, if I didn't already have the Jackson, I'd probably still be in it.
Right. Well, hey, brother, it was awesome sitting down talking to you. Thanks for letting us pick your brain and sharing some of this information with us. Hopefully you have a awesome season and we get you on the show a couple more times.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Fireball Outdoor Products, my wife for letting me fish as much as I do, and I'm stoked to like my son's gonna be here in like a month and a half, and I'm stoked for that to happen, and hopefully I can finish out the rest of the season with you guys. Like I'm gonna try my best having a new baby and stuff. So I don't know. That's the only shout out I got.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, man, and we'll talk to you again.
Cool. See you, Bill.
See you, buddy.
All right, guys, so that's it. That's the recap video from the 2020 Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail event that was sponsored by Raccoon Creek. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you guys in the future. And tight lines. See you guys. Thanks.